back over it and just
yeah. But yeah, I'm eating all right, man. It's
And you fine with eating late? I mean, what time do you cut off for late eating?
about 10 o'clock.
Is it? And
Yeah, mate.
at night, and how's the bag in the night?
I get up once.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, considering, I mean, I don't know about you, but obviously before I had the ileostomy, obviously with my J pouch,
Live on YouTube now.
with the J pouch, I used to be up easy twice. I was very lucky if I got up once in the night.
Really?
And then it was like very rare that I didn't wake up to go to the toilet. So now I've ileostomy and getting up in the night and just emptying it once, phenomenal. Man. I feel a lot more refreshed in the morning. Not fully recharged, but still refreshed because it's quick. Empty the bag, clean up, wash hands, into bed, done. There's no messing about, hanging about in the toilet. It's definitely a game changer.
Yeah,
don't
that's
rub it
the
in,
thing.
you guys, with your bags.
What's that, sorry?
Don't rub it in with your bags.
Yeah.
Well, my surgery got cancelled, didn't it? Obviously.
Yeah, what, for reversal?
Yeah, at the moment I'm not too bothered, like, because I'm quite enjoying what it's like at the moment.
What? Yeah, but I think for you, it's me. And correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's more of an employability thing, isn't it? I mean, where do you stand now? If you don't have a reverse, because like you said, you're feeling great at the minute, aren't you? As in your training's going through the roof. You're looking phenomenal. You're feeling great. You're less time on the toilet. But if you were to have that reversed, what happens is that the thing is you have to get reversed for employability, or I mean, where do you stand?
Well, for me, I'll make the decision. Like, regardless of my job or what, I couldn't care. Like, I want it for me.
Yeah.
At the time, it was like, yeah, I'll do it for my job. Which, partly because of my job. Yeah, I'm still young. I've only just started my new career.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I want to progress it at least a little bit in it. So, but it's again, you want to try it. Do you know what I mean?
I know, man. And I said to you, in discussions, and Johnny's been there with the discussions and said, look, in hindsight, and because I've been through it and understand, what it's like to have a J pouch, and now going back to an ileostomy, even though the choice was taken out of my hands, if I was to go back in time, I would have never put myself through all the surgery of having it reversed.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I would have just stayed with an ileostomy right from the start. But being 23, 24, in that position, like, I don't really want to bag for the rest of my life yet. If I I don't think it was an employability thing. I think the Air Force would have been fine because a little bit different in regards to I'm not a soldier first, so I can sit at the desk if I need to. So I would have been okay, I think, with the ileostomy right from the start. But I was young. I guess, maybe a little bit naive. I'm thinking, well, not naive. Sorry, that's a bit condescending. But I think I just wanted to give it a try. I wanted to get it reversed for me, because I didn't want that in my body.
Yeah.
So it was immature for me. And then looking back, at least I had the chance to try it. It never worked out for me, but I do know people it's worked out for, and they've had great lives,
but at least you've tried it.
At least I've tried it, yeah.
But that's the thing. So, obviously, my mum's got the J pouch.
Yeah.
And she's had it coming up 34 years.
Wow.
And she's fine.
Yeah.
Like, it's ridiculous. And she doesn't, not eat a lot. She eats normal.
Yeah.
Which is, there's certain things she can't eat that aggravates her, like, peppers and all that sort of stuff. And that's
all the good stuff.
But it's just like, all right, I'm going to try it. I'm going to see what it's like. Hopefully it'll work out. It's just one of them things.
Yeah. But just got to wait. I mean, just get yourself, as you know, as strong as you can now, so that after the surgery, and hope it'll be laparoscopic again, no doubt. So you'll bounce back just as quick.
Oh, it's ridiculously quick off the last one.
Mm-hmm.
But then, we'll see.
Johnny,
I had my pre-op and everything, didn't I?
I don't know. Sorry.
Yeah.
We haven't spoken for that long.
I had my pre-op. Everything was fine. All good to go. I was just waiting for a phone call to say, right, this is when you're coming in. And then all this COVID-19 popped up, didn't it?
Ruined everything. This COVID-19 has ruined everything.
Well, yeah.
Say
Yeah,
that.
I mean, there's a lot of people in a lot worse scenarios, but
Yeah, I suppose we got to count the lucky stars. I mean, it's a blessing for me because I've had a chance to be home and spend time with Nick and George. So I can't complain. Don't get me wrong. And for us, there's no worry of like monetary, as in our jobs, losing our jobs and stuff like that. So there's no worry on it. I'm at home enjoying life, really.
yeah, that's the thing. I do feel for people self-employed in that now,
Mm-hmm.
especially at a time like this, and you look back and you just think, lucky I chose the career I did at the time. I mean, it's paid off now.
Yeah.
But
So Johnny Gray then?
Mate, I'm living the dream. I've never been doing more phys than I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, it's one of those weird concepts. It's kind of like life has become really, really simple.
Yeah.
So it's taken a lot of even though I'm still in and out of work, I'm the only person in work now.
Yeah.
It's pretty decent. It sounds weird to say it that way, but like just being able to get home, see the kids, do some training.
yeah,
All the normal sort of admin stuff has sort of disappeared. So
I guess
all the stress.
we're getting more done now, yeah.
yeah, I've got like literally. I don't know if you guys can remember the whiteboard in my office with all the like,
Oh yeah.
all of the odds and sods that like, you kind of aspire to do. It's nearly empty now. I'm just like, right.
There we are.
What's next on the list?
Happy days.
Patience. What's going to happen? I mean, me being home from Headley Court, as you know, the Headley Court. Geez, we're going back inside now. Being home from Stamford Hall. It's weird because obviously they cancelled all patient activities, sent them all home. I think there is a few remainder there that are complex trauma neuro because they're so dependent. But apart from that, it's just when we go back, we don't know how long it's before it's going to be safe for us to bring patients back in.
Mm.
I think PCRFs, the primary care rehabilitation, will take a huge hit, and then we'll see it a few months down the line. Then I don't know about the RIUs, but I don't know.
We've not got any information yet about when we're going to be back to normal, and I think most of the physio staff are going to be out supporting the NHS at some stage, I believe.
Oh, for
I'll be sat here.
Yeah.
I'll be sat here.
What's that?
I said I'll be sat here.
Training and sat at home.
Training, yeah.
Well, that's it. You got to take every opportunity when you can. I mean, just enjoy that. Like I am doing at the minute because, I mean, for the RI, I'm not trying to undersell what we do, but I don't know what kind of role we play going back into a clinical environment. I understand physio with the retraining, respiratory and stuff like that, but for RIs, I don't know. What's your thoughts? I am no clue.
I don't think anybody does at the minute. I think everyone's just grasping. I think we'll just be in the same boat as everybody else. There's going to be significant rehab that's going to come out of it for military personnel that get infected, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But
I haven't known anyone yet, have you?
No, I've not.
Any military personnel?
Not heard of anyone yet.
I've not known anyone I actually know with it.
So how are you guys finding being in isolation then?
Pardon?
How are you actually finding it?
Do you know what? I think from being ill, I got so used to isolating for so long. It wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
So let's just jump back into that, but I can train. So it's exactly the same, but I can train in the garage.
Yeah. I mean, for me, like I said, it's a blessing that I can come home and spend time with my family. Initially, I mean, I'm still going out on bike rides, dare I say it, here now, but it's very early morning. I'm out of the way. I'm not crossing paths with anything like that, and I'm getting out and I'm getting back. It's either that or buy a turbo. I mean, to be honest, at the moment, I haven't got money to go and buy turbo. Am I putting people at risk? Probably not. So I'm getting out and doing that. I've got the garage to do some strength stuff.
How much is a turbo?
Yeah, for a decent one, I'd say anywhere in excess of £300.
Mm.
If you're looking at a decent one, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think Dan Brown actually said to me, when we were leaving Stanford when we were thinking of like just, whether we're going to be sent home, he said, why don't you take a walk bike home with you? And I said, to be honest, man, I don't think I'd be able to lift one in the back of the car. Get on. in hindsight, I wish I bloody had now.
Yeah.
Never mind. But
Yeah, it's mad.
So
I'll
like,
go, until
sorry.
they completely go, you're not leaving your house, I will continue to, and again, I'll go out early before anyone's even on the roads. I'll get out and I'll get back. I'll keep doing that. I'll get out and run. It was only an hour, to be fair. I did my 9 miles.
Yeah.
An hour and probably 5 minutes, if I'm being honest. But
well, you're still in the guidelines, then, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm trying not to let, try and take the mick, really. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
But I've still got to keep training because, and I think, and there was a good point made on the Ironman group the other day, was said that if they made a decision, said cancel all the events, it would then maybe resonate with people. Actually, we don't have to go out and train. We don't have to risk getting out there and going to get our training done just in case the event's still on. So I think that decision needs to be made. But back to the original question, isolation is great. It's being home, it's spending quality time with family. You don't need to be out spending money to have quality time. So
no, you don't.
So much out the back garden. We'll go for a family walk, just around the local area. It's great. Like George has never had so much fun, I don't think, having us just both here with him all the time.
I think we get a mixed bag with Avery Alice. She sort of like, and she enjoys it, and then it's sort of like all of a sudden she'll get, I want. When you try and have like her play in her own now, it's like I just know how to play in her own anymore.
Yeah.
What would you guys say to people that are maybe struggling with being in isolation? Like, what sort of tips or thoughts do you guys have for anybody that might be sort of, I don't know, just struggling with it?
What, living on their own or in general?
Yeah, living on their own, or just like, for us in the military, I think we've got a slightly different approach to these kind of things, which I'll maybe touch on in a bit. But
just don't stop talking to people, I think, because everyone's in the same boat. Like if you think about it, like I can walk down the road, and I think so. To put it simple, people come closer together when they've got things in common.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone now in the world has got something in common. So everyone now should be brought closer together. And if you're talking to people about these things, you've got something in common. So even like simple things, if you go for a walk, just like you see someone in their garden, obviously keep a distance away, but like just talk to them and be like, how are you coping? How are you getting on with things? Just so people can be like, yeah, we've got something in common. We can all talk about it. Do you mean?
I guess it's a good way of reconnecting, isn't it? Do you know
what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, there's still a lot of social media involvement and stuff, as you've seen, probably blown up all over the internet and stuff. But actually, just seeing people in your street that you wouldn't normally see.
Exactly.
Getting a chance to shout hello from across the street, and maybe like the frustrating thing is that some people, like when I've been out to do the shop, which unfortunately one of us has to go, so I go and do the shop. It seems like everyone just wants to keep away from each other, and don't want to be. And I understand that. So people, I feel like people are a little bit less likely to talk. But actually, on the street and stuff, everyone seems pretty happy, and you just say hello. It's good. It's good for mindfulness, definitely, just to reconnect properly again. Talk to people. Yeah. The art of conversation, I guess.
It's getting sketchy though in supermarkets, isn't it?
Those people with masks, they think they're above everything because, like I said, try and keep your distance. They got a mask on, and I've got someone coming over my shoulder, and I won't kind of tell you what I said to him, but I just kind of looked at him and said a few choice words. It's like, the guy was being an idiot because he had a mask on. He protected him over my shoulder. If I had my resi on me, I'd bring that. I should have brought that home and just gone all in with my resi and just climbed over people. Do you know what I mean? I'll show him.
Yeah, I get it though. Supermarkets, they're just getting sketchy, Like some people will like stop, let you walk through, like, and then some people just don't care. They'll just go straight forward.
But I think
and not be bothered about it.
Yeah, agreed. But back to like the isolation question. I mean, it's like from an ostomy. Like the one thing I found is that it's given me a chance to let my body recover, right? Because I'm not able to do as much volume of training as I was previously doing before I was sent home. So that's a good thing. It's given me a chance to kind of get up in the morning and at a slower pace. not hit the ground running, get training, going to work and so forth. Just give me a little bit of a chance to reset from a personal point of view. And I think those with conditions such as this have to be extra careful. I mean, I don't know all the stats. I should have looked into a few things, but the effect of coronavirus on IBDs. I don't know if any of you know. If
I can't find anything, to be honest with you.
If you've been contacted by the NHS now, then you should know if you're at significant risk or not. You'll be at an increased risk, Johnny, because of your recent surgery.
Yeah, that's what I read.
But basically, it's anybody who's on immunosuppressive drugs.
So your increased risk within 6 months of major surgery.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's been coming up to my 6th month at the end of this.
Yeah. And then the other side of people is if you're on immunosuppressants, so if you're taking active medication that suppresses your immune system, and then stepping down from that, there's different levels of it. So there's a more extreme version of immunosuppressants, and then there's a step down where it's tablet form where you don't have to go and have it in hospital. And then the next one, the lowest one, is like if you're taking loperamide or something like that, or on no medication.
That's the thing. How long do immunosuppressants last when you come off them?
Yeah, that's one you'll have to chat with the doctor about.
Because I got told 6 months, and it was probably about 6 months I had mine, so it could still be in effect. Do you mean?
Yeah, totally. Something to chat with the MO about, to give him maybe a call and just see like what is that situation for yourself.
I think you know whether you're living with an illness, an IBD or whatever it is. It's just a matter of being, staying safe. That is the big message, and stay safe and stay home as much as you can. But just kind of, I don't know, just take it as a chance to reset and get back to basics and enjoy it now. It seems like a weird thing to say, enjoy this time, but you gotta make the most of it. Got to make the most of having the chance to not think about work so much. And I suppose I'm lucky in that respect. I don't have to think too much about work. Because there's not much really I need to be doing. But yeah, it's just a chance to reconnect and rewind and just reset.
Yeah.
I think one of the interesting bits for myself, I don't know why my screen's not coming up. Let me see if I can do that. I don't know what's happening. The interesting things for myself is it kind of like just feels like we're on operations, where you're sort of like, you kind of just accept the decision. So nothing that's happening right now is inside our control. So it's
just a waiting game, isn't it?
Yeah. When I'm speaking in this view, do I come up on your screens?
Yeah.
I'm up on your screens, am I?
Yeah.
I've got the split 3-way thing on.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so it's almost like you're going through a grieving cycle. For a lot of people, some people, like I know my sister's locked up for 12 weeks, like she's taking that quite literally and not leaving the house.
Yeah.
It's just getting to that acceptance stage. I think we're able to do it a lot quicker because we're used to having decisions and control not being ours in a lot of circumstances, being in the military. So we were able to get to that process a lot quicker. And like I mentioned earlier, it just makes life so much more simple just by being able to accept that this is the situation that you're in. And then move forward and deal with that. Because all of a sudden,
what was that thing that Walshy put on Facebook? He said Boris gated the country.
What did he say? Boris what?
Boris gated the country.
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah,
that was class.
Yeah, he's
like, if you think about it, he did.
Yeah,
that was good. But
so, what would everyone's advice be for people that don't have a? Well, I don't know if Johnny can really answer this question because he's basically got CrossFit Blockhouse in his garage. But what sort of stuff would you say or give people to do exercise-wise that are maybe got an ostomy?
Right. Okay, so first of all, I wouldn't say it's like that necessary. Reason being, like, if you go on social media. And it's a good thing, but I think all you'll see is home workouts, blah, 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 which is fine. But then I think it puts a lot of pressure on people to train when they don't want to. So take a week to just let everything kind of set in, and don't stress about, oh, you need to train. Just chill out for a week. If that means gaining a couple of pounds, so be it, but you're not stressing yourself out. And then start thinking about doing little things. But don't I hate working out in the house. I can't do it. I absolutely hate it, and I won't do it unless I'm in the garage where I can't get back in the house. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, just don't feel like you need to be hammering yourself just because everyone else is.
I mean,
just take a step back, chill out, let it all sink in, and then when you're ready, then start thinking about doing it.
we've still got the opportunity of having that kind of hour out of the house for your leisure, your activity, and your
Exactly.
exercise. So, I mean, the weather's been great at the minute. So actually, just take the time to get out if you can, as long as you're staying safe. Then take that opportunity, and until we're told that we can't. Other than that, I mean, like you said, it's a great thing that they're encouraging people to do all this exercise at home. The one thing I will say, and it's just speaking to a few people I know, is they've been asking me as an ERI, which they think I'm a physio, I don't know why, but they've asked me, about
the line, isn't it?
They've asked me about certain injuries they get in your knees, classic hip or shoulder or back, and generally it's because they've gone wham bam every day. Let's get into these jaw wakes, and again, brilliant for what he's doing and getting people moving. But it's how much they move in when they've been sedentary for quite a while.
Yeah.
And people just buy in every day, let's just do exercise. Well, actually, a graduated approach to exercise wouldn't be, let's do a circuit every day. So I can find, it's a great thing to get people moving, but actually we need to get them moving right and doing things the right way, because they'll just be jumping around doing like kind of explosive movement, dynamic movements that they generally wouldn't have done for such a long time. But now they've got the time to do it, they'll go straight into those type of exercises instead of thinking about walking and doing a few squats here and there, body weight, whatever it may be, but actually getting your movement pattern right before you think about jumping around and doing plyo squats. And do you know what I mean? And again, I'm not trying to be negative. It's a great thing that people have got the time to do the exercise if they need to, but it's just those that haven't done exercise for a while and suddenly they're going into these big movements and they're like getting injured straight away. So
I've got a perfect example of that. I did double unders for the first time in 10 months yesterday.
Wow.
In quad, and I did 200.
Yeah.
And I can't walk today. My calves are in bits. They're like ice blocks, mate.
Yeah.
I'm struggling to walk around.
And that's someone that's, for yourself, conditioned and used to those type of exercises.
Mentally, I'm like, not a problem. But,
I love it how we practice what we preach.
I'm bad for it, really bad for it.
But no, I mean, like I said, it's a massive positive that people have now may have the time to do these exercises and these workouts, which is great. You have to think about the implications of bad form and injury potential, So just take it slow, enjoy, just get the movement pattern right and enjoy the exercise, but don't start throwing yourself around the room that you've never done, your body's not used to, and you're going to get injured yourself. Get out, walk in, enjoy the fresh air, but get out and enjoy the sunshine as much as you can, and just.
But for no longer than an hour.
No longer than an hour.
Hey, walk up and down the stairs. That'll do you some exercise.
Yeah.
I mean, when I get to the top of my stairs.
I mean, it's depending on what kind of person you're speaking to as well, because for the likes of me, who still, I would say, argue 18 months now, 19 months post surgery, I'm still finding, like I was speaking to you earlier about, is that doing a press up, could bang a press up for fun prior to my surgery. Now I'm feeling a lot of tension around the stoma, just doing 20 press ups. I can feel it, and again, it's a void of whether I keep pushing that because that's my. There's just a low tolerance that I have to get used to, or is my body telling me something I shouldn't be doing and I should stop? So for those with ostomies, and those are quite early on in their rehab, that may, after the surgery, and may not have access to a PT right now, which they would have done after the surgery and started building up their strength, don't think that you can just go and follow these exercises on TV and you're going to be fine. you still have to have that graduated approach. You still have to be sensible in the fact that you've had surgery. And obviously I've learned the hard way, but I think that's something really important for people to take on, that are in our position, that's had, well, say our position, but anyone that's had any surgery lately. Don't just go, because you're limited in what you can do. Well, you're only limited by your time, but you know what I mean?
Use it as an extra bit of time to rest, I suppose. Okay, you can still move, but you don't need to hammer yourself. Do you know what I mean?
Time to dust off that bike in a garage, do you know what I mean?
What's that?
So it's time for most people to dust off their bikes in the garage, you know?
Especially when you got like 3 or 4 in the back room.
There's loads of dust on them, I can see it from here.
Hey, there's not that dusty.
I can blow it.
You took your bike out.
Mate, I've got a Watt bike in the background there. See it? Got one of them.
Flipping heck. I'm gonna have to go up to St. Athan. If they go into lockdown for another month, I'm coming to steal a Watt bike. Is that okay, staff?
I have no idea. I don't call the shots in my place.
I'm so glad I've started putting a little bit of a gym together.
You got quite a good bike actually, John, haven't you? What's the bike you got? You got it quite recently.
I got Bike Concept 2 one. I got that.
I know, yeah.
I got that when I was. I think that's one of the first things I bought after I recovered. Because I didn't want to go out on long runs. I just wanted to do a bit of conditioning, and I thought I don't want to buy a Watt bike because they're like $2,000. So I bought a Bike and I've got that now forever. So.
How much are they? If you don't mind me asking.
About 900 quid.
Are they?
Yeah, I took the hit, mate. I didn't care at the time. I was just like,
yeah.
I'm doing anything to get myself back to it. I didn't need it, but I wanted it. So I bought it. I couldn't care. But there's such a good bit of home kit to have, like.
Yeah. I mean, I've got the squat rack set up in there. The flooring's down, the squat rack set up. My bike's at the back, obviously my road bike. There's like an old spin bike that's in there. If I am desperate to get on there, but I've got everything I need. You know, to be fair, you don't need equipment. You got your body weight. But if you've got the kit in there, then I'm lucky I've got that in there to do exercise.
Yeah.
I don't have to go out. It's just I choose to because it's what I need to be doing for triathlon at the moment.
Good thing is though, it's a good way for people to get creative, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like use your imagination more. You don't always especially as PTIs, you always get taught you don't need kit. Like when you're on deployments and that, you just use whatever you got. And it's a perfect example now of just doing that.
Yeah. Agreed.
So yeah. What's his next question?
Sorry, I was just checking audio and stuff. Back to it. Where am I? Yeah, so John, you mentioned you're getting a lot of pain when you're doing your press ups, or a little bit of weird tension. Like, what is that happening when you're swimming as well?
No, so this is the and as I probably mentioned all the time, I'm still building up to what still may happen at the end of this year, one of the events. And I've taken my time to build up to running distance, and I've been up to 15 miles, no reaction from the stoma. Stoma's been fine. Swam up to 3K, no problem with the stoma, no swelling, no pain. And cycling up to about 60 miles, no dramas. And then 2 weeks ago, I think it was, or just over 2 weeks ago, I went out on probably about 9 miles, and it wasn't overly quick. It was probably around, say overly quick, but for my pacing, it was probably around a 7:30 minute mile, maybe a bit less. And I got back, and again, it didn't feel achy or anything, but I took the bag off, and it was like hugely swollen, and it literally looked like a big mushroom. It was like probably about that big, when normally it's about that wide in circumference. And it was quite disturbing, to be fair. I was quite worried, and I was kind of praying I hadn't done all the work again and prolapsed again, even though it wasn't telescoping. So the stoma was quite round and fat and swollen, but it wasn't protruding like really far, which is kind of indicative of it being prolapse. So I kind of knew it wasn't prolapse, but I thought I created a weakness again. So it was quite frightening. So I said, I'll have a few days where I'll take rest and see what happens. So I had to cut the bag a bit bigger just to make sure that the swelling wasn't kind of big. So I struggled to get it over, but it was fine. And then give it a few days rest. I went out on the bike after about 2 days. The swelling was going down, thank God. And I went out on the bike for about a 40 miler maybe. Again, it didn't make the stoma swell. And then since then, it's gone down. I've gone out on a 6 mile run last weekend, and it was fine. It didn't swell up. And then I've gone out again today, done 9 miles this morning, all within the hour, obviously, my hour out. And it hasn't swollen again.
Yeah.
So I'm quite happy with that. But it's one of those things. I just don't know. I maybe have an idea of why it's happened. So suggested maybe that some of the support garments I was wearing was too tight. It's rubbed across the stoma, and it's got really warm, and it's causing blood vessels to burst and swell. Some people have suggested that it's just because you're dehydrated, and sometimes when they're dehydrated, it can swell, which I didn't really know, if I'm being honest. And these are all just part of the ostomy athletes group that I've seen on Facebook and what they were feeding back. So I didn't wear the support belt as tight on the last 2 runs. And would I say I was more hydrated? I don't know. But either way, it hasn't swollen again, and it doesn't seem to be any pain. It's just a little bit of ache after the run. So yeah, the swelling was quite disturbing, to be fair. Quite weird to see, really. And what's
a bit of a shock, like.
Eh?
Bit of a shock.
Yeah, it was, yeah, because like I said, I've done further mileage and I didn't get reaction, and swimming, and the amount I was doing, it wasn't affecting it. And then just suddenly for it to swell was quite alarming. But touch wood, it's kind of gone back to where it should be with regards to size. I'm just going to slowly, steadily build up again now to that mileage and see what happens. It's scary because every time I'm out on the run now, we'll be like, shit, is this going to happen again? Is it going to get
constant like head battle in it?
Yeah.
What's been happening with the vanilla blush stuff then? Has it been helping you or?
No, that's yeah. And to be fair, I haven't kind of fed back to them exactly what how I feel about it, but obviously I had the support shorts, which the garment comes up and around to your waist here, which sit over it. And it's not too constricting. It's enough for, I feel, support to go for doing the exercise I'm doing. But it doesn't restrict the stoma, which is great. They're a fantastic piece of kit. It doesn't. I don't feel like I'm getting too warm with them either. They don't feel like really claustrophobic. And then the belt that you have, Johnny, the one that pulls around, that I tend to use that more when I'll do my strength endurance stuff. So the resistance training, because that does feel like it holds things a lot more.
I've got the shorts as well. I think you showed me.
Yeah, the shorts. That's the one.
I ordered a pair of them.
Yeah,
I like them. I find them a bit loose on the top. Not like way too loose. It's all right, but I put the belt over the top of that.
Yeah.
But that's only when that's not all the time. That's just now and again on a run or something.
Yeah, I think we've got to understand as well, there's a lot with support. So I highly recommend using the vanilla blush stuff. It is, and the good thing about it, it's really comfortable as well. So whether that's for exercise or whether it's for intimacy, they're really comfortable and like not restricting. But what I would say is that the level of activity that we are doing, not generally, but quite a lot of people wouldn't be doing that high-end stuff.
Yeah.
So the support that you get from the shorts that you're saying, it might feel a bit loose for us, but for those maybe a little bit more rotund or not as active, but still want to feel like they're doing exercise, but not high end, they would be absolutely perfect. I find them really, really good. I just, like you said with the shorts, it could be a little bit tighter, but then I don't know, like I said, I'm doing a lot more stuff than maybe the generic person would use it.
Yeah, I get that. I get it, yeah.
What have you been up to, Johnny? Like, what sort of stuff have you been doing for your ostomy? Because I know I've seen you doing muscle ups on the rings and everything like that. So how's that all going?
I'm just testing the water. I'm just testing the water, mate. I'm seeing what I can do.
Does it scare you, Robert? Does it scare you?
Well, yeah, but the first time I do it, it does. Like, you know what? I got to find out at some point. I've waited like 6 months. I'm going to give it a go. Got up straight away, did 5. I was like, yeah, I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
I used to be able to do like 18, but like, no, 16 it was. I used to be able to do 16 or 18.
Yeah.
But now I just feel, obviously I'm not going to do that now, but I'll be able to work back up to it. But little things like, I don't know, just like deadlifts I'm a bit skeptical about, but it's not as bad now. I prefer it. Squatting doesn't feel bad at all.
Yeah.
But again, as long as I've got a belt on, I'm fine.
Yeah, but this is the thing that we were speaking about earlier, the difference, and again, and I don't mean to be comparing to the general public all the time,
Yeah.
but yourself, you understand body tension, you know, and how a movement should feel. So your deadlift, I would say, is pretty impeccable from your background of lifting. So you'd already understand how to contract properly and to engage your core in order to protect your spine and also the stoma. So therefore, you know, you're at less risk, even though you're going heavier. Yeah, right. You know, that's kind of my kind of assumption of it. And secondly, is that you've had, as we were speaking about, you've had laparoscopic surgery as well, and not a full incision down there. So your healing would have been a lot quicker. Plus, there's not as much damage done to the tissue, and therefore I think the tolerance is better with your tissue compared to someone who's had a full opening. So you're doing amazing things, phenomenal, lifting weight and moving weight. I'd still say fairly on in your surgery, but the difference is you've got a really good background and understanding of body movement and body tension in order to move a weight, and also you've had it laparoscopic, so there's less trauma to the body for you to recover from, and it should be able to tolerate that load. So again, that's what we've got to be mindful as well. If for people wanting to return to this type of exercise, say heavy lifting, which is what you're doing, but any type of resistance stuff, it needs to be a slow, progressive load, but also you need to get your movement right first. Don't start putting weight on and start pulling it because it's what you used to do. And thirdly, understand what surgery you've had. You know, is it a big opening or is it a smaller opening that still needs to be built up properly, but actually not as much risk as someone else? Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, yeah, especially with deadlifting, because of what's happened to you, it does like teach you to use your legs a lot more.
Yeah.
I know that's what you should be doing, but you know, some people will have the habit of just using their back, and that's really bad. So it does teach you to just completely use your legs more.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. With you need to have like a background in it, and especially with what type of surgery you've had, the recovery's been a lot faster.
Yeah.
And I only get a little pain where my belly button is, where the insertion of the cut was.
Yeah.
That's still healing.
Yeah.
But it's recovering quick. You mean?
But again, the recovery as well would be quicker because of your previous training history. You know, the stronger you are going into, you know, your pre-ab going into surgery, the stronger you're going to be coming out. Do you know what I mean? So there's that element of it as well. There's so many pillars to how quickly someone will recover from surgery and being able to go back into activity. It's a plethora of different things that we think, right, you know, we are lucky that we understand movement and we understand the load tolerance that our body's going to take, whether we've had surgery or not. It's difficult for someone who's never kind of had that background and wants to get into a post-surgery to get himself healthy again. They've got to be very aware that it's going to be a much slower process than someone like yourself or myself or Johnny that's got the training previous background and the core that's already there, the muscles are already there that are supporting the body. Does that make sense?
That's the thing. I think the strong core going into it helped a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the recovery for me took a long time, and then suddenly it just clicked.
Yeah.
and it got because I was ill. Obviously, like all of us, we were ill going into the surgery.
Yeah.
Coming out of the surgery, it takes a lot longer to recover. But then, as soon as you start eating properly again, your body starts replenishing all its nutrients. Then it'll start speeding up really quick.
Yeah.
When your immune system starts getting protected again.
Yeah. It can be a huge frustration, or as you know, just trying. You think all you keep thinking is where I used to be, where I used to. Hello.
There she
Hello,
is.
Arthur. You live.
Who's that doing?
Look at the eyes. He's like, what's going on?
What's going on, Arthur? Huh? What's all this weird stuff? Who's all these weird people? He's like, oh my god. Oh
Just
my
come
god.
on.
What's all this?
Well,
Oh
normally
my
you
God.
take over the living room, don't you?
Yeah, he does.
He's just popped himself there. He really actually got quite scared there.
Rabbit in headlights. Oh, what's going on? Probably the beards, mate. Why haven't you grown a beard yet? Anyway, is it because you still
Man, I'm maintaining the dress standards. I am. Cutting my own hair. Look at that. Don't even need a neck shave yet.
Really cut down.
I've got to see you in Seal, mate. I've got to maintain the standard. I've got to go in somewhere at some point and tell some young Lance Jack what to do. Can't go in there cutting about in a beard and looking like a scruff.
No, that's true.
Mine's growing in angles, mine.
Mate, they're looking good. They're all looking strong. I am tempted, but because I've got to put uniform on anyway every other day because our letters stipulate we've got to be in MTP.
Are they?
Just in case we get stopped and asked why are you not in your house.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
I suppose they're quite. Well, I don't know. Down your end, they're not so. You just let yourself in, I guess.
Yeah. I go to the guard room. That's about it, really. To be fair to them, but I don't know. It's all fun and games. Hey, so some of us have standards. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, so what else is happening for you guys? Like, what's going on down your neck of the woods? Have you converted your garage yet, John, or are you not allowed to?
Convert. My garage has always been converted. I've always had the squat rack in there. When we bought this house from next, we bought next door. See this house from next door, and I didn't have a garage in that.
You've got a squat rack in your garage as well.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to get a squat rack in my garage.
Yeah, I've got a Rogue barbell, which I had a wedding present. Nick bought me as a wedding present. I got some Rogue bumper plates, so 20s and 15s. I've got a 32 kilo Wolverson kettlebell. I used to have the Concept 2 rower, which I got rid of because it was at its end of life. I think so. I got rid of that. But yeah, I got a decent little setup in there. It's slowly George's toys are encroaching, and now it's probably I've got my rings in there, but they're kind of in the way of my road bike now. That's taking up more space than anything. But I've always had that setup, so I'm lucky to have that facility where I just go in there. It's an internal door, so just open it up, get in there, and get my training done. But for me, like I said, it's less. It's probably less time in there that I need to be spending and more time out on the road, which is difficult now, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's that's where my training needs to be done. And until they cancel Ironman in September, I've just got, even though I probably think there's a very slim chance, probably 10% chance that it'll still be on, it could still be on. So therefore I still have to try and train as much as I can in order to think it could be on. That's the dilemma I've got.
Get texting Gareth Thomas, see if he can get you a skill mill. Get that in the garage as well.
But it's funny because LJ, you know LJ Doe,
Yeah.
he sent me something the other day. It was about how triathletes can keep training in this, climate. And the bird put on there, she said, oh, well, generally I still get to swim in my infinity pool. I was like, well, that's all right then. Right, for some, if you've got an infinity pool, I mean, yeah, that's fine. You keep on swimming. I'd have to make the choice to go down to the sea by myself or find a lake, do you know what I mean? And maybe drown. So, I've got the luxury of having a 15, 20 grand infinity pool in the house.
That's mad, isn't it?
What about you, John? Are you Johnny? How are you getting on? Like, what's happening with yourself?
Well, all I'm doing is training, mate. Literally.
Have you had any word from your doctor or anything?
What's that?
Have you had any more information from your doctor? Because obviously you were due to have your surgery, you said earlier.
Nah, it's all just been put on hold.
So no communication from them at all?
Nah, nothing. Mate, I didn't even ring him up because I knew.
Yeah.
I just didn't. I'm not going to ring up to say, oh, is my op cancelled because of the virus?
Not classed as emergency, to be fair, is it? That's the difference.
Exactly. And I was just like, you know what? I'll wait for all this to die off and bring back. Because they would have contacted me if it was still going ahead.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And to be honest with you, I don't want to be anywhere near the hospital right now.
No.
So whatever, like I just carry on doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, well.
Full-time athlete, really.
Pretty much just.
Train, eat, rest, train. Done.
Yeah, well, I'm just trying to catch up from where I left off.
Yeah.
And it's harder than I thought it'd be. A lot harder. But it's still early days.
Your program you're following, or you were following, was another ostomy athlete, wasn't he? Is he New Zealander? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
So how did you get hold of that program? How did you get hold of that guy?
He writes the program.
Based on his personal experience, what's his background? Why has he written a program?
So he had a different form of colitis. It wasn't ulcerative. What is the other form you can get?
You got indeterminate, microscopic, and there's another one that slips my mind.
I'm sure there's another one, but yeah, he had that anyway. He had the ostomy. He only had part of his large bowel out, so he got reconnected to that.
Yeah.
So he didn't have a J pouch.
Right.
But he lifted heavy when he had the ostomy. I think he like squatted about 190, 200, I think, with an ostomy. And he was deadlifting like 270.
What's he weigh?
Ridiculous.
He must be.
He's 120 kilo, 140 kilos, something like that.
The big guy. But that's phenomenal amount of weight that he's moving with an ostomy, because obviously I've seen him and I've seen you two having a chat and I'm having a nose of seeing what you're saying back and forth.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, mate.
Like what's
proper nice guy as well.
Yeah, he seems a really
nice bloke.
But the good thing I was always thinking that has he still got an ostomy and is he moving weight with that? And obviously he's not, but he was doing it previously with an ostomy. So it just shows the different level of people that, the playing field is so vast of what people are able to get back to.
Mental.
Yeah. But he's not a physio, he's not no background in like exercise, writing exercise programs. He's not like a specialist like we're classed as exercise rehab instructors. He has just had an ostomy, built up, documented his program, and then said, look, people can use this to get back to where they need to.
Yeah, he's an instructor as well. He's got his own gym.
Mm-hmm.
He's just opened his own gym up. He's got a company.
Yeah.
He's opened his own gym now. He's got like a full studio. He powerlifted before he was ill.
Yeah.
So it's just built up on experience, really.
So I guess like we were talking about earlier, was his training experience previously has made him strong enough to be able to return to something like that.
Exactly.
That is a massive key thing, I think, in all this through rehabilitation surgery is what were you doing previously?
Yeah.
Are you, yes, you're probably more likely to return to something like that rather than someone who's fairly sedentary that now wants to pick up heavy lifting or go into a gym environment and start.
It's not going to be easy.
It's not going to be that transition is not going to be as easy.
Well, is that like going in for your surgery and then decide you're going to be doing an Ironman?
No, exactly.
Yeah. So think about it. Say you weren't doing anything before your surgery, and then your core's weak anyway, and then your core takes a hammering, and then you suddenly want to strengthen your core after it. It's going to take a long time.
It is. Yeah. I mean, as we know, any kind of strength adaptation, kind of neural adaptation, we're looking in excess of 8 to 12 weeks anyway.
Oh, yeah.
To see any kind of difference. But with people that are probably a lot more deconditioned, would I suggest that maybe it'll take a lot longer? I think you've got to have guidance. So this is, and I've kind of fallen short of this really lately, is that as we previously discussed on a podcast, Johnny, was that I was going to write a program that hopefully people would be able to take on. Yeah. So I'm still documenting everything. Oh, he's bored already. Look, he's gone.
Sound.
I've heard it all before. I still got everything documented up until the point where I had to then focus my training on the distance stuff. So I have a program on the computer that is, right, this is where I started off after my third surgery, after it going wrong, and this is where I got to before I started going off, I would say, more specialist type training then. So I do have it there. It just needs a little bit more titivation and a little bit more structure. But it's all documented as what exercise I was doing from day to day, the time I was doing it, and the reaction in the stoma. There's a few more kind of columns to it. So this is something I could say people could try, because it's,
at least, yeah.
But that's purely from experience and background knowledge, and obviously help from other ERIs and physios when I was going through my rehab. But it's just, I don't want to give that out and go, right, go and give that a try until it's really bombers and I know that it's going to work for someone.
It's because you've still got muscle memory from it, from being an athlete before.
Yeah, so that's why I think the motivation for someone who's not had the previous experience to be able to get into this kind of program. Does that make sense?
I think when you're looking at that kind of stuff, though, we are fortunate we've got like the sort of knowledge and the background with which to sort of create that for ourselves. But it's kind of like all the stuff we do all the time. We always create these like exercise cheat cards and things like that, and people's IPs will have an IP for a knee specific sort of thing, but we'll always doctor it to the individual, and that's going to happen with yours, because you're always going to get someone. No one out there is going to be a John Felton, so no one out there is going to respond to that program exactly the same as you have. So I think whatever you've got at the minute, it's probably as bombers as it could potentially get.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
Maybe I just need to pull my finger up my stoma. I can't say ass, can I? And actually put it, get it, not sort of sanctioned, but say, right, actually maybe send it to the guys and say, right, have a look at this. Does this look fine? Does this look good? Does it need? This is one, I've been focused a lot on my own kind of stuff with my training and the Ironman. And Nick, obviously, with her job, she's still working full-time from home, which means because we've got a 3-year-old, she's upstairs in the bedroom locked away and he can't know that she's here. So I would say her job at the moment is a lot more important than me doing anything. So she's doing work and I'm looking after George all day. So it's finding the time. If I can get out early on the bike or run, that's what I'll do, because I know during the day I ain't going to get a chance unless it's evening. And then loads of people are about in the evening. So that's the difficulty I have in the morning. At the moment is trying to get some work done, because there's no pressure to get anything done from work, which is great. So, yeah.
Well, I think in those situations, like that's really important, I think, for people to understand, is like if you're in that position, being able to just switch off to work if you've got that opportunity is key.
It's not that important, is it? Nothing's going to fall apart if I don't write an SOP. Nothing's going to fall apart at Stanford all if I'm not, doing any paperwork. It doesn't matter. So it's now is the time while I've got the chance, because being a weekend dad, as we probably some of us have experienced being military, it's difficult. You spend all your time away from your family, get one quality day, a Saturday at home with your family, and then you're driving back on a Sunday. So now I'm just taking the opportunity, and I'm glad that I've got good management and saying, look, just take your time, just enjoy your time at home, and don't put pressure on yourself. It's great. I'm lucky in that respect.
It might be one to stick into the research cell when you get back to Stanford Hall or something like that.
Yeah, well, there's one of the consultants up there I've kind of touched base with, and he's happy to take, kind of guide me on it. They're not kind of colorectal specialists, anything like that. I think they're sports meds consultants, but they're happy to have a look at it. It's just, since I've been back at work, and my focus has been on work and training, and not so much on that. It sounds selfish, but it's just me getting back into work and understanding my place again. So I kind of put that to the wayside. That's probably why we haven't spoken for so long. It's just because I've been focusing so much on what I need to do and what I need to get out of, feeling normal again. Because for so long I didn't have a place. And it sounds very kind of not profound, but I just didn't know what was happening. I was at home, I was going to my rehab, I was coming up. It was like I didn't really have a structure. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I've been lately. My head and my mind has been work, training, and then worrying about getting home to my family.
I think that's one of the things maybe a lot of people might be struggling with right now, because they don't have that structure. Like I think one of the big things you get whenever you're obviously able to go to work and leave the house is that you leave the house at a specific time. You probably pull into a specific coffee stop on your way to work. You meet a specific person when you get to work. You know, everything's got an almost regimented routine, and when you fall out of that, like you said, it can be a real struggle.
Yeah.
Like, how are you guys adapting to, like, what sort of regime have you set up for yourselves?
So for me, routine is massive. Like without a routine, I'm a useless person. But so for me, it's just like having a set routine of what I'm doing every day, even when I'm not in work, with my training involved in that as well.
Yeah.
So I started working Brecon, like I said, for a few weeks, and then it just got taken away from me again. So I had to quickly get myself back into a routine, and that keeps my head sane.
Yeah. I'm a lot more productive with a routine. I genuinely feel like I'm not producing anything. I am, but I mean, the good thing is, like I said, is I'm home and I'm spending a lot more time with George. It's great for him. It's great for me having that connection again. And obviously with Nick as well, me being here in order to help around the house and get things done, so it makes her life a lot easier. But my structure of the day is get up, get my training done very early morning, and then it's George time, and he is 100 miles per hour, mate. A 3-year-old that needs constant attention and just like, let's do this, daddy, this. And it's great because I'm doing so much stuff with him, but I don't feel like I'm still in the back of my head is I'm conscious that I'm not doing anything. And we had this discussion with my line manager the other day. I said, I just feel a little bit guilty that, you know, the NHS is strapped and people are like still trying to get to work and get things done, and I'm not.
Yeah.
And, you know, and I feel a bit of a guilt trip. I feel like, where can I be useful? But actually, I'm being useful at home to my family, and I think that's important. So that I've got to take that into account. I shouldn't worry and stress too much that I'm not doing anything in regard to helping with this situation. Not sure what
that's the thing. I think you've got to sometimes take a step back and realize you need to put yourself first and your family first. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Rather than trying to make a difference to everything all the time.
Yeah.
Just take a step back and that's what I've realized lately anyway. Like I just think of myself now, my family.
Yeah. I am a huge creature of habit normally.
Yeah.
There's no real structure. And I do find it difficult. And, you know, sometimes my wife will say, Nick will say to me, she goes, oh, why are you so miserable? And I said, I am genuinely sorry for being that way. It's just, this is what I'm used to.
Yeah.
I'm used to getting up in the morning, getting my session done, go to the mess, have my breakfast with the boys and, you know, have a chat and stuff, get across to work, start seeing patients, train at lunch. You know, they got a 12, 1:30, get my training done, back at work for like the next few hours with the patients. Train at the end of the day, if I'm on a 3-day training or whatever, 3 training session a day, and then the evening we'll be back to the mess, sit down with the boys and just chill out for the evening. And that's my life day in, day out until the weekend comes. And now it's completely flipped upside down. And it's not, not for, I wouldn't say for the better, for the worse. It's a good thing that I'm home and doing that, but it's difficult to accept. There's a big change in my life. It's huge. I'm getting 1 session in the day of training. And for me, for my mindset, that's hard to take, you know?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I'm not appreciating the time home. I absolutely am. I love the fact that I'm home with George and Nick. But it's difficult because it's not what I'm used to.
Yeah, but your body's not used to just, like, you say he's trained 2-3 times a day.
Yeah.
So your energy levels are constant.
Yeah,
Once you've cut 2 sessions out of that,
yeah,
you're like, you can't. Have you ever seen Ross Edgley?
Yeah.
You know when he did the
swim?
He swam around Great Britain.
Yeah.
When he came off doing that, he had to carry on swimming like 20 miles a day, training like 4 or 5 times.
Huge.
Because he had to. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to sleep.
Yeah. I mean, that guy does not look like an endurance athlete.
No, he's not.
Starting to look like an endurance athlete. How he holds that shape, I don't know. I really don't know.
That's the thing. When you need to be moving that much, your activity level is that high, you need to continue it
Yeah,
and taper it down slowly. You can't just go, boom, just take it all away.
And that's why I've got to be
mentally. You just like,
yeah, and that's why I've got to be appreciative that we are still getting the 1 hour or the one session outdoors, so we can get it done. It's still difficult. It's still very difficult to accept that I am limited really to the one session a day out where I really need to be getting out. But yeah, it is what it is. You just got to accept it and just kind of think of the positives really over the negatives. Understand.
Get a watt bike.
Yeah, get a watt bike, steal a watt bike.
But yeah, I totally agree. Like that's one of the things that we were self-isolated in 2 weeks, so we've been for a month nearly now. And initially it was weird because obviously, well, Kylie just got a cough, and basically then we had the self-isolate. I wasn't allowed to go into work, and then the first week was weird because it was almost like just like a holiday sort of thing, and no one else seemed like nobody else in the country was taking it seriously anyway, because we went out during the week to some places I know were quite quiet, and that was fine, just like for a walk in the countryside. And then we went back to similar places, and it was just swamped. And then we drove down to Barry Island. Seen Barry Island was like crazy. Ogmore was crazy. I was like, what is going on? It's like a summer holiday.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had no routine whatsoever, and it was just sort of, what's the point in getting up? So then I had to start. I don't know if you guys seen it on my Instagram. I had to start like force myself to get up at 5:30 and do a workout at 6, and do it live just to make myself get out of bed and actually start functioning into a sort of routine. But yeah, it was mental. Like, and now we've got a good routine going. Like, so we'll get up before the kids, because like you're saying, once the kids are up, like, you ain't getting anything else done. Like, I'm actually really lucky that I'm able to sit here in the garage with Disney Channel on next door.
Yeah, yeah. But, I mean, the thing is, it's like you want to make the most of the opportunity being home, and there are restrictions. So, like, I'll get out and get the shopping done. So that's the one structure during the week that I'll get out and get it done. That 1 hour shopping becomes 2 hour shopping because you're queuing and then you're trying to get round people and this, that, and that. So there is that little bit of structure. But I'll be honest, right when this all came about, COVID, the coronavirus started coming out, and I started hearing, I was like, this is ridiculous. This is just a fuss about nothing. But actually, as the week's gone on, and this is taking, it's becoming a lot more. It has become a lot more apparent how serious this is, and how how strapped and how much it's brought the world to its knees. It's crazy.
Totally.
Well, I've been taking afternoon naps, boys.
What?
I've been taking afternoon naps.
Afternoon naps.
Mate, if I could take an afternoon nap, that would be a win.
So obviously, I train in the morning, right? And I'm just dead for like the next 2 hours.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just wiped out. I'll have lunch, shower, and I'm just like, I'll sit down and I'm gone. And then as soon as I've had like half hour, I'm wide awake again.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm fully recharged. I'm ready to train. It's weird.
Was that like an infinity pool comment? Was it?
What's that?
It's all right for these pro athletes and their afternoon naps and stuff, isn't it?
Well, I got no kids, have I? So happy days, isn't it?
Yeah. How old are you now, Johnny? Sorry.
27 last week.
Plenty of time. Plenty of time. Oh, last week, you say?
Yeah.
Oh, happy birthday last week.
It's too late now, mate.
What did you do? What did you do for your birthday?
I had a carrot cake, but.
What did you?
Yeah, it's lovely.
Homemade, was it?
No, Morrison's.
Oh, nice.
I trained twice.
Trained twice for your birthday, was it?
You just
got it, mate. I did 27 burpees as well.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's job
good,
done
mate.
then. You've earned that birthday.
I haven't done a burpee.
Same as any other birthday.
Yeah.
You've not got burpees yet, have you not?
No, I haven't tried it.
Oh, mate. So I did 50 in 1 minute 58 seconds. Proper clap over the head.
How were you after that though?
Oh, you tired, like?
Any pressure?
Like, no, nothing. Didn't feel it. But I get faster than that as well.
Have you ever done? I remember doing, apart from the 6-hour burpee challenge we did. So I did over 1,000 burpees on that day. There was we did death by burpees. You try that. So on the minute, you obviously you build up. So you go one, one on the first minute, which seems this is so easy, and then 2 in the second minute, and 3. See obviously which minute you get. And I got into 20, and I hit the 20, and then it went again. Bosh, I was like, I ain't getting any more in now. That was it. I was done. We did that in Santorini as part of like the boys' workout when I was obviously when I was getting married. So we'd all do a workout, and that was when.
That's horrendous. I can kind of feel that because I did an 8-minute EMOM.
Yeah.
Well, it was 24 minutes altogether, but the middle bit was burpees. It was 15 burpees on the minute for 8 minutes. It was horrendous. Like the first 3-4 minutes was fine, but then it just caught up on you, and I was like on the floor.
Horrendous.
I introduced Kylie to every minute on the minute yesterday morning with we got a couple of power bags. I've stupidly got a 30-kilogram one. And we were just doing like just over the shoulder throw, so from the ground over your shoulder.
Yeah.
And obviously then we can turn around, pick it up every minute on the minute, increase. So we started at 3 reps and we did it for 10 minutes. And by minute 8, I was like, give me a 10-kilogram one.
That's it.
See, I've not even got into that void now of like doing the on the minute every minute, where I'm really kind of doing not so much explosive movements, even just to get down quick, pick something up over the shoulder. I have not even attempted that, and I'm 18 months down the line. I think I would be okay, but it's just in my head. I'm thinking I can't do something go wrong. I'm sure.
But again, it's the surgery you've been through.
Yeah.
Like I can easily sit back and say, like, oh yeah, I've done this many burpees, but I've had one surgery.
Yeah.
If I'd had 4 or 5, then maybe I'd be like, nah.
I'm just desperate to do it. You know, I'm seeing all these workouts, and again, this is where I have to come in. I have to be disciplined. And like I said, I go out for like 3-hour bike rides and stuff, and it's not slow, mate. We're anything above 18 miles per hour average. And we did like a 30. Me and my mate did 36 miles, I think it was, the other week, before they started like isolation stuff. And we went at 21 miles per hour, mate, average. Absolute disgusting. Absolutely, it was horrendous. But that's what I'm saying. I can push my body that way, but when it comes to doing a WOD type stuff, it's killing me not to get involved with all this stuff. You know, it's doing burpees.
So, how do you manage to like stay on top of your hydration when you're out for hours on these long endurance?
This is the stuff that they had at the Ironman event last year in Tempe. So really, I'm thinking of buying some of this stuff if the event goes ahead, and actually seeing if my body's okay with this, because this is what they supply. But what I am using SIS tablets, hydration tablets, and then I'll use what's the company called? Informed Sports. I think it's Informed Sports. Their hydration drink. I think it's called Complete Hydration in a green thing, and it's really nice, man. That seems fine. Just sipping away at that, I usually take 2 bottles out with me. That seems fine for hydration. And in the morning, I'll take a Deorolite as soon as I get up. That makes a big difference, mate. Deorolite, but I get on that prescription because that's got everything in these kind of sports drinks that you need, but it's Deorolite.
Yeah, I lost you then for a minute.
So the Deorolite drinks.
Right.
Perfect.
Oh yeah, so I've been using them the High 5 Zero electrolyte tablets.
Yeah.
So I'll have 2 of them a day.
Yeah.
I'll have one in the morning when I wake up.
Yeah.
And then I'll have one during my second session.
Yeah.
And I'll just drink water in between.
It's actually.
Don't like to drink too much water because I feel like it's just.
Well, water, yeah, it's great getting water.
Like flushing me.
You're peeing clear, so you feel like you look like you're hydrated, but actually your salts, your electrolytes are so important. So that's why I find, especially in this hot weather now, it's just those Deorolite drinks and the hydration tablets are paramount here with the training. Otherwise, you're downhill quite fast.
So I'll put Himalayan salt on all my food as well.
Do you? Yeah, I do put rock salt onto mine. Don't want to be doing that movement.
Yeah. Yes, I think that's good.
Yeah, I've never tried the Himalayan purely because it's about $3.99, and I'm too cheap to pay that.
Ah, mate, home bargains, £1, big thing like that.
The pink,
Yeah.
Ah, nice. I'll give it a try then.
Pink salt, pink Himalayan rock salt.
Yeah.
Like £1, mate.
Do you reckon it's
From home bargains or B&M? Well, I like to think so, yeah. It looks like it.
Yeah.
I'll have to give that a go as well.
Probably from Falklands or something, IBD.
Yeah. But no, I mean, that is a serious note to take away, actually, hydration levels, especially in this heat now. If you're going out for your daily exercise and you're out in this heat with an ostomy, as we know, I think 30% decreased hydration levels to start with an ostomy. So therefore, those salts and the electrolytes are so important to get back in your body.
That's why I'm keeping on top of it, because it takes me ages to start peeing clear, like you mean, in the morning. It takes me
so dehydrated, and that's me, keeping myself hydrated through the day, through the night. I wake up in the morning parched.
Yeah,
it's mad, isn't it? Like,
I think this summer I'll be getting some dialytes on prescription as well, because like
I tried to, but they wouldn't let me.
Really?
But they're not push it. Just I mean, you probably did, but for me, I was lucky. I just pushed. I said, look, I'm waking up in the morning getting dizzy, which I was. I'm not making this up. I was really dizzy, feeling like I literally had nothing. Like it was so dry in my mouth. And I said, plus the amount of exercise that I'm doing now because of triathlon, trying to get back into work. I said, I need this stuff. And to be fair, they were great. They were like, yeah, no worries, signed it off.
See, I'm going to speak to the Oc Health nurse.
Yeah.
I reckon she'll sort it out.
Yeah, she will.
They're good. Like the MO, they're just like, not. I don't know. It's a tough one when it comes to that. It felt when I spoke to him, he just didn't seem interested.
Yeah.
But the Oc Health nurse, they were always like, I don't know if you met her, Maureen. Like she's really helpful.
I've never seen occupational health.
She's she's military. She's army, not RAF. But she's really helpful. Like, so I just speak to her and she should be able to sort it out.
Speaking of Oc Health, I'm still waiting for a med board. I haven't had a med